I am going to see if I can go on the safari. Let's see how long that line is. If it's not too long, we're gonna go ahead and do a safari ride. Okay, it says the wait time is 15 minutes, so that is not too bad. We can fit this in before I have to go back to the airport. Okay, a 15-minute wait is crazy. I've never seen only a 15-minute wait before for this ride, so I feel incredibly blessed. There is absolutely no one in this line. I usually have to walk through there, and you stand through there, but we are cutting through over here, so we don't even have to be in that super long wait line. This is the shortest trek I have ever had to go on the Kilimanjaro safari. This is pretty amazing.
It's jarred very simply, and it's a symbol of all the work that's gone into the project.
It is a Sunday afternoon. I've never seen it so empty.
Ready for sailing around the country.
Once again, have a wonderful safari, and as we say here in Harappi, Karibuni, welcome aboard.
In order to keep your wait time to a minimum, we ask that you keep your group together, keep up with the party in front of you, and fill in all the available space. It is not necessary to form a single file line. If you are traveling with a stroller,
let's see if we can find out here today. Now it looks like on the right hand side, that animal is called the okapi. And the okapi is the only known relative, a cousin of the giraffe. It's got its long purple prehensile tongue like its cousin, but also you may notice a very similar skull structure. Just a bit smaller in size. Now, at one point, an okapi was so rare to find and so hard to believe because it's got a head that looks like a giraffe, but it's also got a striped butt that looks like a zebra. It was thought by many to be a mythical creature until it was discovered by Western civilization in the year 1901. Let's make our way up here, everybody. Let's see if there's anything else that we could find. Let's look at this first shot of the left. Not much there, it's okay. Let's pull up to the second yard, and yeah, that's where we're gonna find something. If you look in the second yard to the left there, those are the black rhinoceros. Black rhinos weigh about 3,000 to 4,000 pounds. They're quite agile for their massive size. They can run up to 35 miles per hour, but they're very solitary and territorial species, so they like to spend a lot of their day all by themselves. Now to the right hand side, if you look up to the top of the hill, the light brown antelope is a greater kudu. Now we'll talk about the kudu in a second. There's also one very close to us there as well. But first I'll talk about the bongos that are up there, the orange copper colored animals. They're nicknamed ghosts of the forest because they're very rarely seen. One of Africa's best hiders and camouflagers, weighing nearly 500 pounds, while the greater kudu is the second largest species of all antelope in Africa. They can stand about 4 feet tall and weigh 750 pounds. And before we leave Ituri Forest to the left, there's at least one. The other one might be hiding, or maybe I just don't see it. Big black and white bird is a saddle-billed stork. That bird can grow up to 5 feet tall at its largest and has a wingspan that can stretch out 9 feet wide. Pretty amazing. But my friends, we're going to make our way into the next area of the reserve, which is known as the Safi River. Now let's see if there's anything else we can find out here. It looks like to the right. We're going to try and find more in just a moment. But if you look to the right next to the alleyway, those are 2 Nile Hippopotamus. Now, hippos are one of Africa's largest and most dangerous animals. They eat around 100 pounds of vegetation in a single day, and they can grow around 500 pounds, especially the males. Females are usually a little less. They weigh around 4,000 pounds. To the left, so you see this one by itself? Look up by her face there. There's a little baby hippo right there. I don't know if any of you can get a look at it. It's under the water, but if you see her back, just look up near her face and you can see a baby hippo, that little blob there. Let's see, I don't see a truck behind me, so I'm going to hold for just a second for you. Hopefully we'll get lucky. Maybe that baby hippo will poke its head out. Now, though hippos live in and around aquatic areas, it's a common misconception that they can swim. In all reality, the hippo cannot swim. They walk along the bottom of the water, and to the left, the big white birds. And look at that, they've built a nest there. Those are big-backed pelicans, and that nest means it's their mating season. And during this time, their backs turn a light shade of pink. Female and male pelicans will tend to their eggs till they hatch, which takes about 30 days. They got a wingspan about 6 to 8 feet wide. Now, before we leave South River, as we cross the bridge, look down to your left. These are the Nile Crocodile. And they grow 16 feet in length and can weigh up to and over 1,000 pounds. The largest species of crocodilian within all of Africa. And in just a single feeding, it usually takes place about once a week, but within that feeding, they can eat up to half of their own body weight. Pretty impressive. But we have left the Sabi River, everybody, and we're heading on over to the next area of the reserve, which is known as the Savannah. Now, the Savannah is a great spot to find lots of different animals, such as giraffes, elephants, cheetahs, and quite possibly even the lions. So let's head on down into the Savannah, my friends, and let's see what we can find out here today. Well, welcome into the Savannah. On the right-hand side here, these are the wildebeests. Their name in the Afrikaans language, that means wild beasts. And every year through Africa, they're going to migrate about 500 to 1,000 miles along the Serengeti grasslands. As they migrate, all herds of wildebeest that range 100 to 1,000 come together. They form into a gigantic herd that can reach up to 1.5 million. Now, further across, so I'm really hoping we're going to get real close to them. Those are elands back there, so we're going to try and get closer to them. To the right hand side here, these are the Hartmann's mountain zebras. Now, with this species of zebra, the way we can tell their colors by looking at their nose. These ones have a very black nose, which means that they're black with white stripes. Now, not all zebras are that color. Depends on the species. There's about 100 different species of zebras. Like on the Gorilla Falls, right next to the safaris, the Grevy zebras is over there, and they have a whiter nose, and they're white with black stripes. It all depends on the coloring of their nose. There's a young one there on the right. His name is Dash. A whole group of zebras, that's called the Dazzle. Dazzle of the zebras. Now, it's very hard to see. All the way back by the rock wall, behind a tree, there is a spotted hyena. It's just at a really weird spot. So, the tree right in front of the rock wall, if you look to the left of it, can you see that hyena head kind of poking out there? I'm trying to see where the other one is. The other one sometimes is in the water, but I don't see it. Spotted hyenas are a nocturnal animal. lots more active at the nighttime. And though they're believed to be within the canine family, they're not within it at all. They're in their own breed of animal called Hyenidae, display more characteristics of a cat. And to the left, the springbok, smallest species of antelope in Africa. They can run 55 miles per hour, have a technique called pronking, where they run and leap in the air about 8 feet high and 13 feet across, all in their single trunk. Now, the animals with the longhorns are Ankole cattle. Their horns grow 4 feet in length, very hollow on the inside, made out of a honeycomb structure. Their blood flows up and down the horns and regulates their body temperature, but though they look heavy, because of how hollow they are, they only weigh about 5 pounds each. Now, also lots of Maasai giraffes around here. They're the tallest land animal in the entire world, 18 to 20 feet tall. And not only do they have very long necks, they've got really long tongues as well to reach up to the tops of the trees for food. The giraffe tongue can go 16 inches long. There's a little baby giraffe here. Now, when a baby giraffe is born, one of the very first things they ever experience is about a 5-foot drop to the floor. That's because mama gives birth standing up. Now, once the baby is born, they can walk and run within the first hour of their life. They're already standing at 6 feet tall. Now, one real interesting thing that giraffes and humans have in common, the amount of vertebrae in their necks. That number is 7. Just theirs is a lot longer than ours. Now, I'm going to mention one more thing about the giraffe in a second, and that's how much they eat. So we're going to see another one in a second, but we're going to be pulling up to these elands. I love the elands. They're my favorite. Now, there's 2. The smaller one is on the left-hand side. It's going to be the female. Female elands can weigh about 1,000 pounds, while the male here stands 5 to 6 feet tall. The shoulders, 2,000 pounds. And you may have already noticed he has some grass around his horns. He's made himself a flower crown, and that flower crown will help him to flirt with lady elands. Oh, man. Now, to the right-hand side, another great look here at this giraffe. Getting a nice bite to eat, which perfectly segues into how much they eat throughout the day. And that's about 20 hours. When it comes to sleeping, not much of that takes place. Giraffes only sleep around 30 minutes of the day, though. Usually break those up into naps. That can last around 30 seconds to just 2 minutes at a time. Now, when it comes to those naps for the giraffes, they'll take them standing up. The reason for that is because, as you see, they have really long legs and large bodies, so especially out in the wild, they lay down and leave themselves vulnerable to a predator. But here on the reserve, they have no natural predators, which is why that's okay that they lay down here. It just means that they feel very comfortable, which is a good thing. We want them to feel that way. Now, to the left, I see a mandrill. We're going to try and get a look at it in just a second. Now, this is also the beginning of elephant country, and I see an elephant to the right. Very hard to see it behind the wall once we pull up. But that's one of our males. We'll talk about them in just a few moments. But to the left, all the mandrills are out, even the big alpha male here right in front of us. Largest species of monkey in all of Africa. They can weigh, especially the males, around 100 pounds. And like Rafiki from The Lion King, you notice he's got that, especially the male. He's got the red and the blue markings on his face and on his butt. Now, the brighter their markings are, it all depends on their mood. If they're more excited or more agitated, their colorings will become brighter. Now, the way we can tell that a mandrill is a monkey is, even though it's small, they have a tail. Monkeys have tails and apes do not. The best way to tell the two apart. The elephant, again, just a really weird spot for them to be. Pulling up, you may get a glimpse of it. It's hiding pretty well. You can get a little, yeah, that's okay though. What we're going to do now is we're actually heading a little bit further into elephant country. And I've been getting some luck over here this morning, and I'm going to hope the luck continues for us. So let's head on over, see if we can get an even better look at some of these elephants. Get a great look at it. Now, male African elephants, they can weigh between 11 and up to 13,000 pounds. Females weigh 7 to 9,000 pounds and eat 300 pounds of food in a single day. Whenever they migrate, they're always led by the matriarch of their herd, and that is the oldest female. She'll rule her herd for over 40 years as she passes down her knowledge. Now, when the elephant is pregnant, she has the longest gestation period within the entire animal kingdom, and that's going to last 22 months. Just shy of 2 years before a baby elephant is born, weighing close to 300 pounds. Well, let's be honest, everybody. We all know these beautiful animals for the long trunks that they have, right? Now, those trunks have no bones in them. They're made up of all muscles. Inside of the elephant's trunk alone holds 40,000 muscles. Now, you compare that to the number of muscles inside the human body, which is 650, or around there. That's going to be quite the difference. To the left-hand side, these are the greater flamingo, the largest and the lightest pink of the flamingo species. They get their coloring from their diets, which is made up of brine shrimp and other small fish, which is high in beta carotene, and a whole group of flamingos like you see here. This is called a flamboyance of flamingos. Well, my friends, what we're going to do now is we're going to make our way through this gate here. We're going to make our way into the last stretch of the savannah, where we're going to try and find some big cats like cheetahs and lions, and one is an elephant to the left just hiding very well. That's okay, that's all right. But like I said, over here we're going to try and find the big cats like cheetahs and lions, and we're getting a little slowed down here by this ostrich that's crossing the road right now. Now, the ostrich is the largest and the fastest bird in the entire world. They can run up to 45 miles per hour. When they run, since they can't fly, they use their wings for another reason. So once they reach that top speed, they'll spread their wings out and use them to keep balanced and change direction while they're on the move. So while you can't fly, those wings come in handy. But at full size, the ostrich can stand up to 9 feet tall and weigh nearly 400 pounds. Now also, as also as that ostriches, we're going to pull around here. Look to the left. We're going to see if we can find a cheetah anywhere. Now I see one. So actually two. So here in this first yard on our left, if you look all the way over to the left, underneath the big tree there, there's 2 cheetahs laying down on either side of it. Now we'll go ahead into this near the second yard and try and find some more, but I wanted to pick those out for you. So as we pull it up, they'll just be all the way over to the left now. The cheetahs are one of the fastest land mammals in the entire world, running 65 miles an hour in 3 seconds. And though they're known for their quick speed, they only maintain it around 100 or 200 yards before they slow down. They're very tired very quickly. There's 3 cheetahs here in this yard. There's one laying down all the way to the left, and then the 2 making their rounds, walking around, looking for maybe a squirrel. They've got black teardrop markings that go from underneath their eyes down to their mouths, and those act as natural deterrents from the sun, help them to hunt better during the day. And cheetahs are built for speed. It's not so much built for power. So they hunt during the day for a couple of reasons. One is because of that spotted fur. Acts as a natural camouflage, makes them some pretty successful hunters during the day, around 40 to 50%. But the second reason they hunt during the day is because they're built for speed. Really for power, so they don't want to face competition from packs of hyenas or a pride of lions, which tend to be nocturnal. And there's the big male up here. You can see his paws already. We'll pull around. We'll see him in the females. Now the big male has the mane around his neck that grows 25 pounds heavy. Now, while he is large and powerful, he doesn't do a lot of the hunting. That job belongs to the females. The males will stay at home, protect the land, and protect the cubs. Now, they will conserve about 20 hours of energy a day, sleeping and relaxing, for a couple of reasons. One is to save energy, because they're not very successful in finding food. They usually only have about a 10% success rate, so out of every 12 animals, they're usually successful once or twice. So not very successful finding food. But once they eat their food, it equals about 20% of their own body weight. So kind of like how at Thanksgiving we have 3 plates of food and then take a nap afterwards. That's how the lions feel after their meal, just on a daily basis. That's what they do. Now, lions are nocturnal, I mentioned that. The reason they're nocturnal is because during the day, a lion's vision is just about as good or the same as yours and mine. At nighttime, when they go find food, their vision is 6 times better than ours. Pretty good reason to go hunting at night. Now, I see some warthogs there in the back near the left, so we're just going to position ourselves a little bit better, hopefully get another look at them. To the right-hand side as we pull up, there's a bok just hanging out by itself. That's a cousin of the wildebeest. Now, if you look back where that green truck is, to the right of the green truck, there's quite a few white rhinoceros laying down there. White rhinos weigh 5,000 to 6,000 pounds. And the group of rhinos together is called a crash, in large part due to their poor eyesight. They only see 10 feet in front of them, so they bump, crash into things quite often. Incredible sense of hearing, though, and smell to make up for it. Now, we'll look for the warthog. So on our left, where the big tree is in the middle of the yard, look to the right of the big tree, and there's 3 warthogs laying down in front of the rock. So big tree in the middle of the yard, to the right of the big tree, there's 3 warthogs. Now, they're the largest species of burrowing animal in all of Africa. And with their razor-sharp tusks, they'll make their burrows, and when they go in, they back it. They leave their tusks exposed to defend themselves from predators. One of the most intelligent creatures on the entire Savannah, which is why the name Pumbaa for a warthog is a little strange, because Pumbaa in Swahili means one who is foolish. Now, this next and last area, this is called the Magati Glen, and here on the left is the warden's post for our warden Bolsamatua, and to the left are Nigerian dwarf goats. And they were originally found in the western parts of Africa, domesticated around the world, found on many farmlands and reserves like the one we've been on today. They hang around here and they eat the grass. They keep it nice and short. Oh, so we're now quite a bit, and as a thank you for that, a really good trade-off. The goats actually provide the warden with lots of delicious milk, which is high in protein. They're a really awesome trade-off. Really cool to see how animals and humans can work together. But my friends, as we head on out of Magati Glen, that ends our time on Harambe Wildlife Reserve, and I hope you saw a lot of animals that you were looking forward to seeing. Maybe you saw some that you've never seen before. But always remember, no 2 safaris are the same, and the animals that live here make sure of it. So if you ever have time in the future to come back and visit us, please take a look at it. Now we're going to go through this waterfall, head on back home into Harambe. Now before I drop you off, everybody, just make sure that you double check your rows and that you double tap your pockets. Make sure they have everything that you brought on here with you today. Don't want you to leave anything behind. If you're a wilderness explorer, the name of the truck that you've been on.
Wasn't that a fantastic ride? That was the most animals that I've ever seen on a Kilimanjaro safari trip, and we got to see the baby hippopotamus. How exciting was that? The driver actually sounded like the guy who does the voiceovers on allears.net, so I asked him if he does those, and he's not the same guy, but he was an incredible driver, and I'm so glad I was able to come over and take this ride. I mean, it's too bad that I missed the Lion King show, but boy, this was a happy accident.